Hey, welcome to part 2. Once again, I ran out of space, it seems. But we got through more the first time. We should be able to get through all the way to the end this time. I don't have that much left. Okay. We were talking about, when I got cut off, sugureta. Past tense form of sugureru. Sugureru means to outstrip, to surpass, as in like be better than. But when you make it into the past tense form, sugureta, it can be used like an adjective, like very great or something like that. So for example, sugureta mesodo, method. It's just a katakana version of the word method. Sugureta method, a great method, an excellent method, an outstanding method. If you put sugureta and then a noun, it functions as an adjective. And so he's putting kiwamete, to take to the end, to go very far, to go to the extreme. Kiwamete sugureta mesodo. So the very, very best method, more or less. Again, if you have a suggestion of how you would translate that, go ahead. I welcome your feedback. And then at the end here, de ari. De ari is the copula, des or da, but you put it there when you don't want to end the sentence, but you need the verb to be in there in order for it to be a correct piece of a sentence. The reason that you use de ari, now if you do want to end the sentence, you would say de aru, and then that's the finish, that's the end of the sentence. When you use, the reason why you would use de aru instead of des or da is because, as I had it explained to me, de aru is like a more explanatory form of the copula. It's like, because it is this way, something, something, something. It's like you're giving it as a reason for something. I know that doesn't quite do justice. I'll have to dig into de aru and come back to you on that. But for now, let's just go on and don't think about it too much. 極めて優れたメソッドであり So the very best method for what? それは文化の違いを超えて活用できるという論理を見出せたと思う。Okay. それは文化の違い。So 文化. You've probably seen 文化 before. The word for culture. 文化 no 違い. If you're studying Japanese formally, probably you will run into this word fairly early on. 違い. 文化の違い. Cultural difference. This is 文化 and then no, so it's connecting it to 違い, which is a noun, which means difference. So cultural difference. 文化の違いを超える. This one, this verb, 超える. You'll probably hear it in a lot of, actually, anime theme songs, to be honest. Always talking about exceeding limits or something like that. A little bit of a nerdy example, but Smash Brothers, if you have Cloud as a character, whenever he does his limit break thing, he says, Genkai o koeru. Literally, I exceed the limit. Now, the translation that they gave was limits are made for breaking, which sounds way cooler. But literally, he says, Genkai, limit, o koeru. This word, koeru, to exceed. Koeru, to exceed, to go past the boundaries of. So if you put it together here, 文化の違いを超える, to exceed the boundaries of culture, to break the limits of culture, to cross cultural boundaries, as we would say. 超えて. So they make the te form of 超える. それは文化の違いを超えて活用できるという. Okay, katsuyo. This is another one I had to look up. Once again, I saw both of these characters before in other words and had an idea of how to pronounce this one, and I guessed and I was right, but I still need to look up the meaning. Katsu you. Okay. Katsu, like in seikatsu, daily life, and then yo, like in mochiiru, to use, to utilize. So daily life, use, practical use, application. Basically is what that word means. Well, not basically, that is what it means. Katsuyo dekiru, dekiru, to be able to do something. Dekiru toyu ronri, not lonely, ronri. This first character, we ran into it before in the first episode. Discourse. Hopefully you remember it. And then the second one, you've probably seen it before if you've got some experience learning Japanese. Ronri. So discourse, and then the second character on the bottom there means logic. Ronri, you put it together, means logic. Or if you put no at the end of it, and then another noun, a logical something. Logical explanation, logical plan, logical thought. So, 活用できるという論理を見出せたと思う。So, 見出す。I'll write this one for you. If you've studied Japanese for a while, these are two basic characters you've likely seen. I'll just do the basic form. 見出す. So, mi, like from miru, to look, to watch, to see. This one, you've probably seen it as deru, to go out of a place. Ie o deru, go out of your home, or something like that. But it can also mean, and it could also be pronounced dasu, as in something comes out. So, mi, dasu, see, and something comes out. To find out, to discover, to notice, to detect, to select, to pick out. Third meaning, to look out from the inside. Fourth, less common, very, very not so common, to be wide-eyed in surprise or anger, etc. I never heard it used like that. I almost always heard it as to find out or discover. 論理を見出せた, so causative form or potential form, I was able to. と思う. Fairly basic conjugation. 思います. 思う. Something something と思う means I think that something something. 思う. Something something と思う. I think that blah 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 blah. Whenever you want to soften what you're saying, you don't want to say, it is this way, you just say, I think this is true. You would say, blah, 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 と思う. I think that. So you could say, like, 優しい人と思います. I think he's a nice person. Or she's a nice person. Something like that. So, to put this all together, this is a long one. I need some water. その産物として、武道は人間の身体と精神を鍛える上で、極めて優れたメソッドであり、それは文化の違いを超えて活用できるという論理を見出せたと思う。Okay, this is a really tough one to translate, but basically, and you'll notice here that what I will do is I will take the last verb, omu, and I'm going to move it to the beginning of the sentence so that it sounds nicer in English and makes more sense. I believe that I was able to discover as a product of that, what he talked about in the previous sentence. Martial arts as a, or from the perspective of tempering, forging, strengthening the human body and mind, is the very best method for doing that, and for それは文化の違いを超えて活用. It's also a very practical method for overcoming, practical logical method for overcoming cultural barriers. Yeah, I know, it's kind of, there's a lot of bits and pieces in there. Basically, he's saying, as a product of what he was doing, which was trying to come up with a framework for what Japanese martial arts is, and he was trying very hard to do that, he believes that he came up with a logic that can be applied to overcoming cultural barriers. And it is also the very best method for strengthening the human body and mind. Not quite sure how to put that all together in one sentence, and I'm not sure that there is a way. That's the challenge for you, other 上手な人 out there. If you can come up with a very nice sounding single sentence that you can translate from this single sentence in Japanese, go ahead and let me know. But I think this would be one of the cases where you have to put it into two sentences, even though the original Japanese is one sentence. Because I'm just not sure how you could put it all together. So once again, kind of go over the whole thing. 日本の武道の骨格になるのは何かという一生懸命に考えてきた. So I did my very best to think of what a framework of Japanese martial arts is. その産物として武道は人間の身体と精神を鍛える上で極めて優れたメソッドであり、それは文化の違いを超えて活用できるという論理を見出せたと思う. Yes, there are two sentences in this one Japanese sentence. There are two English sentences. As a result of that, martial arts is the very best method for strengthening the human body and mind. And it is also a logical method that can be applied, and I believe I discovered that it is a logical method that can be applied to overcoming cultural barriers, more or less. We went over a lot this time. Kokkaku, skeleton, skeletal structure, framework, sanbutsu, product, seishin, mind, soul, heart, spirit, koeru, or kitairu, to forge, to temper, ue de wa, you can put wa at the end, that's optional, you don't have to. From the viewpoint of, kiwameru, to carry to extremes, to master, sugureru, to outstrip, to surpass, to excel, sugureta, past tense form makes it into an adjective. So like sugureta, method, a great method. Katsuyo, practical use, application. Ronri, logic, or ronri no, logical something. Midasu, to find out, to discover, to pick out. And we talked about, yes, naru no wa, so a verb plus no wa, in order to do something, as well as I think one other grammar bit. If you have any questions, about the words and the grammar bits that we went over, go ahead and ask. Or if there's anything else that I didn't cover that you want me to, let me know and I'll get to it. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for staying tuned to part 2. Maybe next time we can get it all in one. We'll see. But till then, study hard. 一生懸命に勉強して。一生懸命に頑張って。And after you're done doing that, take it easy. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.